What is going on, y'all? I've got some sick buffs from my boy Starmie. I love Starmie, probably in my top, I don't know, 20 or 30 favorite Pokemon. It's kind of hard to rank them, but I love Starmie, super sick. And they have awesome new abilities, moves, stats, all that fun stuff. Before I get into any of that, though, I do want to have a quick disclaimer for anybody who's new here to check out the Google Sheet. Linked right down below in the description. You can check out all 600 plus move buffs and changes. I've heavily reworked literally every single move, as you can see on screen. This is what the sheet looks like. You've got all of these different categories, and you can click them and direct to the effects of the moves and by organized by type, whatever you want to do. It's all right there for you. Very, very, very important. So yeah, definitely give that a look. I cannot understate how many moves are buffed or changed in this hack. But that being said, though, Starmie, very nice abilities. You've got one for offense and one for defense. Of course, technically, Energy Shield can be used offensively as well. Energy Shield functions like multi-scale. It comes from Shadow Shield, so that's excellent for all types of Pokemon. Starmie especially, because he already had some solid bulk beforehand, but now with the extra bulk, he's even better with Energy Shield. You can use that to get off faster stuff like Calm Mind and Nasty Plot, or you can just use it for purely defensive utility, which in a ROM hack like this is really, really important. Especially for hardcore Nuzlockers, it can just allow you to live an attack that you normally wouldn't live and kill them back. As for Neuroforce, that's a very fitting ability in my opinion. I interpret Neuroforce as like alien type vibes, so I typically try to only give it to alien Pokemon, or like, I mean, it kind of works for any psychic type, but specifically alien ones like Starmie, like he's got this weird aura about him, I just think it fits. I know technically it's just a Crossman's ability, but this is a ROM hack where there's tons of new abilities and all. There's no such thing as like signature moves unless they specifically are like designed for one Pokemon, like animation wise. Otherwise they're all repurposed or given to most Pokemon. But yeah, that's sick. Neuroforce is awesome, and I also really like Neuroforce for them because Starmie is known for having a lot of coverage moves, right? Obviously, Analytic in a competitive sense is great because Analytic will, give you that 30% boost on the switch, and Starmie, forces a decent amount of switches. But Analytic in game is mostly useless because the AI is never going to switch. So unless you're a slow Pokemon, Analytic is bad. Obviously, Analytic is good on like slower Pokemon, like Metagross and Behem and stuff, but it's not good on Starmie. So that's why I removed Analytic. There's a couple other abilities I did consider. In fact, in the older rendition of Starmie, I had Luminescent, which I now scrapped as an ability, but that came from Victory Star. Give it a 10% accuracy boost, which honestly was really underwhelming, and I like Energy Shield so much more, and that obviously fits them as this weird alien starfish guy with this like big old gem. I named it something very vague on purpose so that it can be given to a lot of Pokemon, so that's really cool for Starmie. Like I said, it's great defensive utility, and you can use that infinite usability capsule to switch between the offensive Neuroforce and the defensive Energy Shield. Again, Energy Shield can also allow you to get off Nasty Plot and Calm Mind easier, so it's not just a defensive option. You can also use Recover or Parabolic Charge to replenish your Energy Shield, which is awesome, especially because you're fast. Like, fast Energy Shield users are super sick. That's why I love Tentacruel as well, with Strength Sap and the Black Sludge, which is even crazier. However, Starmie is stronger and faster with Energy Shield than Tentacruel is. But yeah, I really love Neuroforce and Energy Shield on him. He's got tons of great utility moves of all different kinds. Neuralize, which is like a 15-turn priority disable, which is limited distribution. Soak is great for totems. Haze is great for totems. Aurora Beam and Water Pulse drop attack and special attack by 1. You've got Volt Switch and U-turn. There's a lot of different things that I don't really have time to cover, but a lot of moves have very high base powers now. Not to mention you also get Power Glow around Aether Foundation / Pony Island, which is great with Energy Shield. Power Glow will give you +3 special attack. Comes from Tail Glow, if that wasn't obvious. So that's pretty sick, although honestly it's kind of overkill, especially when you have Reteachable Nasty Plot right there. Keep in mind that all setup moves have Nerf PP, and keep in mind that one of the most common priority moves in the game, First Impression, will destroy Starmie. However, if you do have like HP investment and Energy Shield, you can actually tank First Impressions, which is pretty sick. Although your physical defense is, it's good. It's still solid. You do have good resistances as a Water Psychic type, and you have good bulk, 70, 85, 95 with that Energy Shield. Again, Recover is really good with that. I just love Starmie. It can be used so many different ways, right? Purely defensively, offensive utility, purely offensively. Expert Belt will also give a boost to your super effective moves, so that's really good with Neuroforce because Expert Belt is buffed to a 25% boost, so Neuroforce also gives a 25% boost, so when you stack those together, it's about a 1.56, about a 56% boost to your super effective moves. So it's stronger than a choice specs, right? And you have so many coverage moves, and the beautiful thing about a ROM hack like this is you should be using the trainer documents, right, to switch around your abilities, to switch around your EVs, to optimize your matchup for that boss fight. So you can get stuff like Power Gem via level up and other fairy moves, but in general you have stuff like Power Gem, grass moves like Energy Ball and Giga Drain and Solar Beam, electric moves, ice moves, fighting moves like Aura Sphere and Focus Blast, ghost moves, dark moves, you know, those poison moves. You've got so much coverage to choose from, and normally that's, you know, a problem because in a lot of, I mean, all Pokemon in this game for the most part have 4 moveset syndrome, but the beautiful thing is you can switch around your options, so you don't always need coverage moves. You only need to run Neuroforce or coverage moves when you need to hit something super effectively. So for a certain boss fight, you want to run Energy Ball to hit a specific Pokemon. Otherwise, you're running Ice Beam. Otherwise, you're running T-Ball. Otherwise, you're running Aura Sphere. It really just depends on the situation. All of your coverage moves have equal use because of that, so that's really fun. Despite, obviously, in a competitive sense, you would be restricted to picking the most optimal, quote-unquote, you know, move set, but that's not the case here. You can switch around your sets as you play through the game. Overall, though, pretty simple, you know, all things considered. Stat-wise, I actually low-key wanted Starmie to have more special attack, but I also wanted him to stay bulky, so I kept it as this. It's pretty reasonable. 122 special attack with that Neuroforce, super strong. Slightly faster, not a big deal. I don't know, I just like the weird stats, so sometimes giving them weird speed tiers and stuff makes him feel more unique. Also because I just like him being faster than the 115s. However, one thing that's really important that I really mentioned is that you're not guaranteed max speed IVs or plus speed nature. So a 117 base speed Pokemon with like a neutral speed nature and 15 IVs is going to get outsped by like a base 95 Pokemon with a plus speed nature and max EVs. So like max IVs, excuse me. So like just keep that in mind. Fast, offensive, like frail guys are not nearly as like quote unquote broken as you might think just by looking at them, because this is not competitive. You know, you're not guaranteed those IVs or nature. You're playing endgame. It's balanced for hardcore Nuzlocke and whatnot. So yeah, overall though, you know, you can even use Energy Shield to get off defensive stuff like Barrier and Cosmic Power. You have Z Camouflage, which is pretty sick with Nature Power or any of your coverage moves under terrain. For example, under electric terrain, you can use Z Camouflage and get, you know, Stab, Thunderbolt or whatever, or Thunder. Yeah, just, you know, possibilities are pretty endless. You have nuke attacks like Psycho Boost and Hydro Cannon, which drop your special attack step by 2. You've got Side Strike, Whirlpool, Mirror Coat just in time for Mirror Coat just in time for Ultra Necrozma, and a bunch of other useful stuff. Power Gem just in time for the first Guzma fight, so you could keep that for him specifically, because that's your only move that's super effective against bugs, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm going to leave the video off there. Thank you so much for listening. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I know I did. I love Starmie. Super sick. Appreciate it. And I'll be back for more coming up. Peace.